So, seeing as how we're in Florida, and we have all kinds of weird, creepy local legends and things like that, I think one of the more intriguing ones and one of the more popular ones is that of the Florida Swamp Cabbage Man. Have you guys ever heard of that guy?
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I have. I'm a native.
Right. Yeah. Most natives have probably at least heard about it in passing. He's a basically our Florida version of Bigfoot, or what some other people in Florida would call the skunk ape. And
though there's some that say they're separate species too.
Right. Swamp Cabbage Man sounds awfully wet.
Yeah.
Right. It's swampy.
Yeah.
It smells awful.
Yeah, it sounds like he's rather
Oh, there's a
stinky.
smell. There's always, and the same with the skunk ape.
Right.
Really?
That's sort of that's kind of the unique thing about these stories is they're all kind of woven together with similar threads, and they're all slightly different. And a lot of local archaeologists and historians point to legends, sort of Native American legends of the Sand People or the Sand Giants or these
Tuscan Raiders.
Exactly. That was so impressive.
And he was walking in a single file line when he did it.
Yeah. Sit back down. You're already drunk. You're crying
Actually,
out loud.
Skunk Ape, Swamp Cabbage Man, they sound like they would be completely different things, and some people will, continue to try to differentiate between them. But basically, this is our local Bigfoot legend. It's a large, 8 foot tall, 700-pound gigantic gorilla man or giant covered in fur. The sightings have just been extremely prevalent throughout the state. Everyone says that they've seen one, basically, and so much so, in fact, that in April 1977, Florida legislature introduced a bill to protect the elusive skunk.
No kidding, really?
Government at work.
Let them breed.
The law stated any person taking possession, harming, or molesting any anthropoid or humanoid animal which is native to Florida, popularly known as skunk ape, or doing any act unreasonably capable of harming or molesting animals. So they've kind of folded in this conservationist law with some, hey, if you see the Bigfoot, we can arrest you for messing with him.
Leave the skunk ape alone.
Yeah, but using the word molest just always. Yeah. I mean, no, legally.
Well, it's like,
I think that if it's a Swamp Cabbage Man, it's what he described in size, it's going to be molesting you before you're going to be molesting it.
There was a woman a couple of years back that actually tried to ride a manatee. Do you remember that? And
she's called an idiot.
She was arrested for molesting a state-protected animal. Yeah.
So
molesting,
do that thing.
It's the legal term.
I would love if I saw her at Walmart just to jump on her back.
Did she stay on 8 seconds?
Right, you got to hit the 8 unless it's not worth it. You're going to go to jail for
But that manatee
off
was
after
bucking
6.
on left and right.
Again, sightings since people have been talking about, scary stuff in Florida. In 1935, some people excavated. What they saw was a thigh bone with the normal...
was it connected to the knee bone?
No, it was by itself. However, it was the length of an entire normal person's leg.
What?
Just the thigh bone. Similar findings in the area. These were sort of Indian or Native American mounds where they kept sort of, their burial mounds where these skeletons and stuff were being collected. Some people reported pulling human skulls from these mounds that were at least twice the size of a normal person's head. They would be able to fit them over their own heads.
Ooh, and what era was this again?
1935 is when these.
But what a geographical location?
Oh, right around the St. Johns River.
Right on St. Johns. Okay.
Yep.
Back in the 30s, did they know about dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs, I think there were still a couple around in the 30s, so they might have been able to see them if they went to more exotic
like Dinosaur
areas.
World, probably.
They had
Triceratops, RS.
Yeah, but it wasn't spread out. Now they didn't have the internet back then, right? Not everyone knew about dinosaurs. It was sort of it was an in knowledge kind of thing.
You had to be hip.
Yeah,
Square.
Or have a library
Didn't
card.
we do Cruel to Be Kind?
Yeah, we did. We did Cruel to Be Kind last time.
So again, more sightings, and they follow along a sort of similar pattern. People out in the wilderness, people see this thing, and they get this intense aroma of skunky rottedness, and this is like the sort of unifying factor. Some people have, there's discrepancies on how big it was, on where they saw it, how it moved, but this sort of ubiquitous thread throughout all of these stories is it stinks, and it's it's gross. It's gross, and it's big, and it's
big, gross, and stinky.
So,
do you think Swamp Cabbage Man is really self-conscious about the way he smells?
After a while,
he's in the swamp.
He just wants,
I mean, maybe he's being really friendly. He just stinks, and no one wants to be around a giant fart, I mean, so he's just trying to run alongside and say hi, but no, everybody starts going away because of the big old stinky stink.
I kind of feel bad for him now.
Yeah.
Like,
it's tragic.
Yeah. I mean, Florida's got enough, bad press. We don't need our monsters to be the stinky ones.
If there are any hairstylists out there, just please reach out to us. We want to hook up this Swamp Cabbage Man
with a nice shampoo and a blowout
makeover.
Oh yay!
Thank you. We could have rolled this from the get-go.
This is a being that is like naturally just sort of inhabiting the wilderness. Why do we need to force our concepts of beauty and like social acceptance onto it to make it smell like we want it to smell and look how we want it to smell?
Reality show.
Kaz,
for the ratings, all right.
Although I appreciate that sentiment, shut up, because I think it would be amazing.
It would be a good show.
Yeah, come on. It's watchability right there.
Psychologically traumatizing to the animal then.
I mean, come on, you shave the thing and you basically have the Kardashians.
Also, I'm going to rat on all of you guys because I can take you to jail for trying to molest the skunk ape with your makeovers or whatever.
Oh, true.
So,
molasses.
It's not molestation if you're bettering the creature. She hopped on a manatee. She didn't give it a bath.
All right.
I like it.
Point taken, I guess.
True.
Yeah.
Debate it.
Argue that in a court of law. I dare you.
Yeah.
The most intriguing encounter that I read about was one that happened in February 1971.
Okay.
A couple of archaeologists were excavating around the Big Cypress Swamp, which is in a pretty remote area. There were 5 men, and they had a camp out in obviously the woods or the swamp, wherever it was that they could get some decent land. And this thing crashed into their camp and basically destroyed it. And these 5 archaeologists, these are men of science, right? Like learned men. They all 5 said it was a 7-foot tall man ape with white fur all over it that just had the most disgusting stink to it, and it would just seem to want to destroy their camp and leave. It didn't really.
If you smelled that bad after a while, you just want to destroy everything.
Just like getting upset.
Yeah, if you put it all in the under and everything, just by like I stink. You wouldn't understand. Leave me alone. It's genetic. You wouldn't understand.
Not even Febreze could help this poor soul.
That'd be a great campaign for them. Like, even if Febreze can even take out a swamp ape.
Yeah. And the swamp ape goes, it's true. Hey!
So the thing I thought was most interesting about that account, obviously, these are multiple eyewitnesses that all were out there for, for all intents and purposes, a scientific expedition. They were out there to find, some bones or whatever, potsherds or whatever they're looking for out there. And they all saw the same thing, and they all saw something that was sort of slightly different than your normal encounter. Everyone else goes, it had dark brown fur, black fur, it was very dark, and all these guys out of nowhere, it was a white skunk ape that came at them.
Wow.
It was very, I don't know. It seemed strange to want to buck the trend. If they were going to try to get in with, a hoax or something, why make it so specifically different, right?
Yeah. And in 71, Bigfoot wasn't as prevalent a thing. That's usually about later 70s.
Yeah,
no, not 80s, but like 76, 77, because I was around then. There's that didn't really become popular until TV shows like In Search Of and stuff like that came on.
So they were showing you like the plaster footprints and stuff like that.
And so to like it was almost like they were coming out with their own IP. It's like they weren't even copying someone else. I think maybe they just got the idea at the same time. Maybe
I can see that.
But and the fact that it's the 70s, not like the 20s, where people will just believe I saw a dog, it's a demon,
right?
Yeah. But I think there's accounts that are older than that too.
Oh yeah, I mean they go back again. They go back to
that this account in the
Native
70s,
But yeah, it seems strange to me that they all kind of all agreed that it was this white skunk ape in the middle of Florida, and it seems like something you'd be able to kind of see and would be So maybe, I don't know, maybe they're out there. Maybe they're wandering around.
No.
You guys hear any rustling out there in the...
I don't know.
Oh, God.
Look for red eyes. Supposedly he has red eyes. Jim Phillips talks about Swamp Cabbage Man, that they're extremely fast, he says, that they'll run alongside your car.
Oh, my God.
And with his red eyes, and you can't look into his eyes. That's another part of the modern side of the legend.
Well, he has just...
Safety first.
He means like bloodshot eyes, because Swamp Cabbage Man is either really tired all the time or
really
hungover.
stoned. Yeah.
AF. 100.
Maybe that's why when he stinks, he just smells like the dank, yo.
Yeah.
He's just like a dirty hippie who's just been out like all the
It's like patchouli, to the max.
Ooh.
Which is bad. Yeah, that is terrifying, really.
He's taking just a little swamp shower.
Treads just
Under the
matted all
armpits,
over his body. Just
paper
a smelly
towel.
hippie.